Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Noelle, and if you are new here, I am a photographer, content creator, and influencer, and today I am going to be teaching you how to pose for photos. So this is one of my most requested videos on TikTok, so I decided to make a longer form video here on YouTube. I'm going to be giving you my top tips, how I learned to pose in front of the camera, and when I say camera, you can definitely use your phone. I genuinely think that sometimes my iPhone photos turn out better than my camera photos, and it makes me slightly mad because I spent a lot of money on my camera equipment just for my phone to be almost better in some circumstances, so it is what it is. But today we're going to be talking about posing. So to start out with, I am going to do one of the most basic things that most either posing coaches or photographers should tell you, but to make your pictures more interesting, you should be incorporating triangles into your poses. I'm going to show you a few examples of what those look like. It can be with your legs, it can be with your arms, it can be with your body in any way, shape, or form. But triangles make your body and your posing look interesting. But this is something that should be in the back of your mind when you are learning to pose, posing for photos, taking pictures with your friends, anything along those lines. The next most common thing that I get asked about when posing is, what do I do with my hands? I have three go-to things that I do with my hands in every photo. I will show you a few examples while I'm talking about it. My first one, a lot of people, their first instinct is to put your hands on your hips or hands on your hips like this, and you can totally do that. I actually prefer when people put it like upside down on their hips rather than this, because I think it just looks like a little bit more natural. You can put one up, there's that triangle that I'm referring to. You can put two up, again, triangles, but it can look natural I think if you put it upside down, it looks more natural than it does if you go like this. Anyway, I try to avoid doing that because I think it's slightly overused. You can definitely still do it if you want to, because it's an easy thing to do, especially when you're not really thinking about posing in photos. But an easy thing to do as well is I always do the thing where I hold my pants. Maybe one hand, you can either hold your pants up, or if you have a sweatshirt on, you can kind of hold the sweatshirt like a little crop top, or you can put your hands in your pockets. This is still creating the triangle, as you can see. Even when you do this, it's still creating the triangle. It's just a little bit different than putting your hands directly on your hips, which is a classic, but it's, a classic for a reason. It's used everywhere. So if you're looking to elevate your posing a little bit, I would recommend try to hold your pants or put it in your pocket. And when you do this, it's still creating that triangle like I was talking about before. The second most popular thing that I do with my hands is I use props. Now, most of my photos, I try to use some sort of prop just because I feel like it makes the photo look more interesting. But this could be holding your sunglasses, holding some flowers, a coffee cup, a water bottle. It could literally be anything. A hat, those big brim hats, I don't think they look the cutest on my head, but I always use them holding them in my hand, either swinging them back and forth or holding them in front of me. You can use anything as a prop, and that's gonna keep your hands busy. It's gonna make you look more natural and less posed in your photos. The third thing that I do with my hands in photos is, I think it's kind of like an influencer pose thing, secret, whatever you want to call it, but it's called holding a P. So basically you're putting your hands together, kind of holding your fingers, interlocking your fingers a little bit, and the reason they say that is because you're doing that and it kind of looks like you're holding the vegetable pea in your hand. Anyway, here's some examples of me doing this, but basically you can kind of it's just a way to put your hands together and kind of relax, look more natural, look like you're just playing fidgeting with your hands in your photos. Whenever I'm posing and I really don't know what to do with my hands, I just think, okay, I'll just place my fingers, kind of interlock them together and put them in front of me, because it's kind of a natural pose to do rather than just immediately going here. So those are three things that you can do with your hands in photos to be less awkward, seem more natural, and start posing more than just putting your hands on your hips. The next thing, when it comes to posing, what are you doing with your legs? Now I feel like I should move you guys so that I can show you my whole body so that we can really get the full effect. My first thing that I do with my legs, instead of standing straight like this, because you're going outwards with your legs, it's gonna give you that boxy look. we like round hips. We want to look like an hourglass figure. So what we're going to do is take one leg and place it in front of your other. And so this is going to make your hips look more round because it's going out and then coming back in. And this is where you can implement the P stance as well. And this is one of my go-to poses. My second go-to pose is the flamingo. And you can also implement this in a lot of different ways, but this is talking about triangles. So the flamingo is basically like you stand like a flamingo, you put one leg up. Do we see how this is creating triangles again? It's creating sharp edges. It's gonna make it more interesting. And here are some photo examples of me doing this. But this is a go-to pose that's gonna be more interesting than just standing there, but it's also going to give you that triangle shape that I was talking about before. And my third and pretty much my forever go-to pose is what I call the look back at it pose. Stand facing away from the camera and then you're gonna wanna look back. This is gonna get your hair in it, it's gonna get your tush in it, and the smallest part of your waist in it because you're twisting. Bend your leg like this and pop your butt a little bit. It's gonna make your butt look juicier too. You can put your hand in your back pocket, you can hold a pea. I sometimes have a big bouquet of flowers hanging over my shoulder. Any of these poses you can mix and match together and make new poses. So basically what I'm saying is all of these things that I've talked about you can mix and mash together, creating an endless amount of poses and ideas. You just need to go into your photos intentionally and practice posing in the mirror. Practice it before you go actually out and do it. It's gonna make things a lot easier. My last big tip when posing for photos, turn your phone or your camera on burst mode, shutter mode, whatever your camera or phone says. Take a bunch of pictures and just keep moving. They're gonna turn out more candid, more natural, and you're gonna like them a lot more. You have a lot more options when you do that rather than just taking 5 photos. Turn it on burst mode and just go and just keep moving. So if all of a sudden you're like, okay, flamingo, you're gonna turn, cross your legs, then you're gonna turn, look back at it. You're gonna get all of those in between shots as well as the ones where you're intentionally posing. You're gonna have so many more options that you're gonna be so much happier with. So that is my little posing guide for now. Those are my top tips. If you have any more specific questions about posing or taking pictures, feel free to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back very soon because I'm doing a lot of videos this month. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon.